Men going their own way has women filled with fear. Today's video comes from the Men Only channel. Their channel is linked in the description so that you can go check them out and support them. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of MGTOW now making a major difference when it comes to the way women look at society and feel about their futures. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
Welcome back to the channel, fellas. Today, we're diving into a sensitive but trending topic: when older women finally realize they're not valuable. As society shifts and dating dynamics evolve, many women are facing harsh truths about how their choices and the passage of time impact their romantic prospects. What's really going on here, and how did we get to this point? Stick around as we break it all down. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get into it.
Being a young working woman, we get to live our life like a rock star. And men are kind of wising up. They're noticing. They're like, how are you paying for this? Most women have average jobs, right? Human resources, assistants, $45,000 a year. Women are the majority of travelers. So women are the ones that are going on trips. It's not really men. Women are the majority of festival goers. Women that are average looking can get invited to high level parties with high level men. We get invited to concerts. We get invited to all of these fun things by men. Now, the difficulty is as we get older, the perks get less and less, right? So it's difficult for us as we age. And once our beauty's gone, all the perks are gone, right? As a 21-year-old woman, if the men your age aren't looking to get married, you can date a 35-year-old. Boom. Problem solved. But unfortunately, especially young women today, they would rather do sex work.
Here's the thing. Women think they have endless choices, but reality? Those options shrink with time. Meanwhile, men? Oh, their choices expand as they age. Baby. And that's just the truth. Before you go making a long checklist of what you demand in a man, his height, his income, his lifestyle, ask yourself this: what do you bring to the table? Because, newsflash, relationships aren't freebies. It's an exchange of value. You see, a lot of women believe they can bank on their youth and beauty forever. But here's the kicker: those are depreciating assets. Time doesn't stop for anyone, and the earlier you invest those prime years into a good man, the greater the return you'll have in the end. But sadly, most don't get it. They're out here chasing the wrong things: validation, fun, the so-called chads, only to wake up years later realizing the options they thought were infinite? Yeah, they've run dry. Meanwhile, men? They've been working on themselves, building their careers, stacking their finances, growing wiser. When they hit their 30s, 40s, even beyond, they've got options. And they know it. That's why you see men in their prime looking for younger, more vibrant partners who understand value. It's not rocket science. It's just the way the dynamics work. So, ladies, before you demand a man who checks every box on your dream list, ask yourself, what's on my list? What am I bringing to the partnership? And let's be real, that list better be just as long and carry just as much weight. Relationships aren't about taking. They're about mutual value. The earlier you understand that, the better off you'll be. It's time to shift the perspective. Because nothing in life, especially love, is free. Invest wisely, or don't complain when the market's no longer in your favor.
Guys, if you think you've missed the boat on Bitcoin, think again. The crypto world is exploding with new opportunities. And while Bitcoin has already made its millionaires, there's still a chance for you to get in early on the next big wave. I've put together an exclusive guide on 4 altcoins that could change the game and change your financial future. These aren't just hype coins. These are real projects with groundbreaking technology and massive upside potential. This is your chance to get in before they hit the mainstream. But listen, Crypto isn't just about getting rich, it's about freedom. Freedom from traditional banks, freedom from government controlled money, and freedom to take back control of your life. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy. When you join the academy, you'll learn everything you need to know about cryptocurrency, how to buy, sell, and trade the right way, how to spot the coins that can truly take off, and how to use crypto to achieve real economic freedom. And here's the best part. When you subscribe, you'll get a free copy of my crypto blueprint. This is packed with valuable tips and strategies to help you get started, and it's yours just for joining. The link is in the description below. Don't wait around and miss another opportunity like Bitcoin. Those who act now will be the ones who win big. So if you're ready to take back control of your finances and start your journey to freedom, join Angry's Crypto Academy today. Let's make it happen.
How do you decide to start over? I'm asking because a part of me is hoping that someone on here has figured it out. Someone has an answer for me. How do you look at your life and just know that it's not working anymore? Sorry, I'm trying so hard not to cry. But I feel like I've just been in this state of survival for so long. I don't know anything else anymore. I feel like every single day is just I'm fighting the tears. I'm fighting just giving up on everything. I'm not fighting to succeed and do well anymore. I'm just barely finding the will to keep going. And it's been like this for so long. I just don't. How does it get better from this? How do you. And I feel like there's so much pressure coming from culture, being the oldest. I know I can't be the only one. There's one thing TikTok has taught me. It's that there are no unique experiences. So I know I'm not the only one. But how do you go from having stability to giving that all up, even though you might potentially be happier than ever? I don't even know what my gut is saying anymore. I'm so past gut instincts. I can't even tell the signs that my body is giving me anymore because it's just constantly just trying to survive. I'm so tired. So tired.
Guys, these are the consequences of women's liberation. Women said, guys, we don't want you. We don't need you. If we ran into a bear in the woods or a man, we'd rather, deal with the bear because the bear will get it over with quickly, while the man will talk our ear off and we'll be left with lifetimes of trauma. Think about this very carefully. So, in their minds, this is what they're saying is that they would rather deal with the bear because they know that the bear is going to end things relatively quickly, or at least they hope so, versus a man who they're more than likely going to walk away from the situation alive if they run into a man. However, just the encounter with him is going to give them a lifetime of trauma. So they would rather deal with the bear. What they're actually saying, when you listen to the way that they put it, this was a poll that was done, and it was from women evidently all around the world, which is concerning. And women all around the world said that they would rather deal with a bear than deal with a man, run into a bear in the woods than run into a man. It's not that they don't think that, it's not that they necessarily think that the bear is more dangerous physically, but the man is going to make them more miserable. They're going to have to live with all the trauma that's going to come with running into a man. Guys, they're basically saying that they would rather be Control-Alt-Deleted. They would rather no longer exist. They would rather their existence upon Earth end than just come in contact with a man. That is HATE. What's happening now is men are turning around and saying, okay, sweetie, we're done. We are done with dating. We're done with relationships. We are done. 90% of men are now opting out of marriage and dating. This is a crazy statistic. 9 out of 10 men are now opting entirely out of dating, of relationships, of marriage. only 10% of men are still involved in this market. And even that's dwindling down. Only 1 out of every 10 men is actively dating or getting married. Actually, let me correct myself. 1 out of every 10 men dating. In terms of marriage, the number is actually much worse. In terms of marriage, it's 1 out of every 1,000. 1 out of every 1,000 men are getting married. Okay, while only roughly not 1 out of every 10 men are still dating. Women are beginning to notice it. They're beginning to notice that they're not getting invited to the same parties anymore. They're going around, these women who are in their 50s, they're shaming men and saying that men who are 40 years old, men in their 30s and 40s, should not be dating women in their 20s. But then in the same breath, they're boasting about all the guys in their early 20s that they're in relationships with. And you can see that clear hypocrisy playing out in our modern society when it comes to relationships in general. 100%. You hear about a teacher, a female teacher, constantly being in a relationship with a male student who was not of age, and she's perfectly fine. She often doesn't get any jail time, and the Sims are like, "Oh, wish I had a teacher like her when I was growing up." But if it's a man, he's basically going to be under the prison. All right? He's going to serve decades. He's going to be on the list. Okay? The woman, she doesn't even have to register. She doesn't even end up on the registry most of the time. Or if she does, it's only for a short period of time. It's a sick and sad reality. And it just never seems to end. But you can see that, when you look at that hypocrisy, it makes it much more understandable why modern women who are in their 50s are, they will go after men and say that a man should not be able to date a woman who's 10 to 20 years younger than him, but it's perfectly fine for her to date or be in a relationship with a man who is 30 years younger than her or even 40 years younger than her. It's a crazy level of hypocrisy because they feel like they have ownership over us. This is the reason why that men have to prioritize themselves and learn how to say no and avoid these toxic relationships and instead focus on getting their bag. And one of the best ways you can do that is by investing in yourself. And one of the best ways that you can invest in yourself is with crypto.
Nothing says you care like crypto.
Let me ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom. It's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now.
Here's the harsh truth. When you finally realize there's no one coming to save you, that you're the only one with the power to change your story, that's when things start to shift. But here's where the blame falls squarely on women. They've been conditioned to expect someone else to come to their rescue, whether it's a man, society, or external factors. They sit back and wait for things to change, instead of taking responsibility and control over their own lives. Too many women live in this fantasy where someone's supposed to ride in on a white horse and solve all their problems. They complain, they blame others, they expect external validation and help, but the reality is, no one is coming. The power to change your life, your happiness, your circumstances, it's all in your hands. But most women fail to realize that. They want to play the victim and rely on others, instead of stepping up and owning their own journey. Women have been told for years that they can have it all, that they can rely on others, especially men, to provide or fix their lives. But when things go wrong, they often fail to take accountability. The truth is, women need to stop waiting for someone else to fix things. They need to take full responsibility for their own choices, their own actions, and their own futures. If you want to change your story, it's not about waiting for someone to save you. It's about making the decision to step up, take control, and act. If you're constantly blaming others or waiting for help, you're holding yourself back. Women need to stop thinking the world owes them something and start realizing that everything they need is already within them. You've got this. But it starts with taking accountability and recognizing that no one else can do the work for you. So, stop waiting for someone to save you. Change starts with you.
Men used to go to war and build things, and now they race you to get a seat first on the subway.
Isn't that what feminism is all about? Equality. They scream from the rooftops they don't need a man, yet still expect men to open doors for them and give up their seats. Welcome to 2024. But here's the kicker, they don't want equality. They want superiority. Here's the truth. Women have been pushing for equality for decades, right? But in today's world, it seems like that message is getting lost in translation. They shout that they don't need men, that they can handle everything on their own. But when it's time to show a little respect or receive a simple courtesy like a door being held open or a seat being offered, suddenly it's a different story. They want to be treated like equals until it's inconvenient for them. And that, my friends, is the problem. Why is it that women demand respect and equality, but still expect men to behave like chivalrous knights in shining armor? It's this double standard that keeps getting passed around. They want all the perks of being equal, but still want the special treatment reserved for those who, traditionally, were seen as weaker or in need of protection. It's hypocrisy at its finest. And here's where the blame falls squarely on women. They want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to be seen as independent, strong, and capable, until something requires a little humility. The truth is, they've been sold this narrative of empowerment, but what they've failed to realize is that true empowerment isn't about playing both sides of the coin. It's about owning your choices, your actions, and your expectations. If you're pushing for equality, then it's time to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. Women are still demanding men behave like old-school gentlemen while claiming they don't need them. They want men to respect them and open doors, but they don't want to acknowledge the responsibility that comes with equality. Men aren't mind readers. If you say you want equality, then you need to accept what comes with it, the good and the bad. So, ladies, if you truly want equality, stop acting like you need special treatment in situations where it doesn't apply. Either stand by your message or drop the charades. It's time for women to take accountability for this mixed message they're sending out into the world.
If you have to jump through hoops for a woman, she doesn't like you. If you are that guy doing all of the things right and trying to court her and buy her flowers and you're pretty much simping over her, she doesn't like you. Women are easy. Women will give it up to you if they like you. Women will let go of all of their supposed standards when they like you. When they like you, they suddenly want to cook for you. They want to take care of you. It's in our nature to be naturally nurturing and take care of people. So if she's not taking care of you, it's because she doesn't like you. So if you're doing 100 things and you're thinking in the back of your mind, like, yeah, she banged her ex-boyfriend on the first night that she met him. Yeah, exactly. It's because she actually liked him and she doesn't like you. And no, do I know why women play these mind games? Absolutely fucking not. But I'm going to tell you, it is the same for every single woman. The moment that we like a man, all of our supposed standards go out the window. It's like we have a mind fog and we're fucking stupid and we're easy. Women that like you will sit there and watch you play video games. Women that like you will sit there and like your favorite sports team. The women that like you will cook, clean, and take care of you. Women that like you get a little bit jealous. If she doesn't get jealous, she doesn't fucking like you. If you talk about other women and she doesn't care and she's nonchalant, it's because she doesn't like you. I can't stress this enough. If you are doing everything and doing it a million times over and over, you shouldn't have to do all that work to get the girl that you want. Because if she likes you, you don't have to do shit. Okay, bye.
You know, guys, it's easy to comprehend that we were raised and conditioned as men to be simps. We absolutely are. We are conditioned as men to be simps, to behave like simps, to put women on a pedestal, to give women everything and anything, and then believe that we will now get their love. This is not how you get a woman's love. Love is something that a woman gives you for free. If you start to behave like a simp, she's going to treat you like a simp. We are conditioned by society to be simps. It's a level of stupidity. The guys who are not acting this way are the ones who actually get things in the relationship. You cannot have a relationship where the man is doing every single thing and the woman brings nothing to the table. Sadly, the way modern women operate is the men that she loves, she knows that they are not marriageable men. These are broke boys. These are low value men. So what she'll do is she'll go out and she'll find a man that, has all of these qualities, that checks off all of these boxes. He might be 6 feet tall. He has to be 6 feet tall. He has to have a six pack. He has to make above six figures and all of these things. Guys, that's the plan B guy. That's not the plan. That's not the man that she loves. Okay? Even the plan A guy is just an upgraded version of the plan B guy. The plan A guy are the very, very wealthy guys. The guys who are worth like tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars or even $1 billion, or they're a movie star and stuff like that. Your average millionaire is a plan B guy. If you have a net worth of $1 million, you're 6 feet tall or 6'7", and you have a six pack and you're relatively good looking, you're a plan B guy. The plan A guys are the guys who are even higher than you. Like, they're like NBA players and guys like Tom Holland, maybe they're in blockbusters. Those are the plan A guys. All right. Plan S guys, the men that a woman actually loves, those are Chad and Tyrone. Those are Ray Ray and Pookie. Those are Enrique and Quan. Those are Miguel. Okay? That's Little Poncho. They love Little Poncho. They love Little Poncho. Those are the men that don't have to bring anything to the table and get everything up front. Okay? How many times have we heard stories about these women? You see pictures online of, this dude, like this woman, she came to this man's house, brought him a 6-piece from KFC, gave him a 50, and, after they were done doing it, also gave him a massage. And bro is laying on an air mattress playing PlayStation on the floor. And has no job. And this is the man that she loves. And then she goes looking for you, and you can't, guys, she won't be physically intimate with you because there's a couple of reasons for it. One, she never liked you. Two, she has the man that she likes. So for example, she just got back from being with these guys. This is something that they don't talk about or tell us as men. A lot of the time, you're in a relationship with a woman and she's not in the mood. The reason why she's not in the mood is because she's cheating on you. She's cheating on you, bro. She has her men on the side. She has her man or her men, usually her men. So because she has that optionality right there, or she's just been with them that day, she doesn't want you. She doesn't even want to be anywhere near you. It's a sad reality. And a lot of men can't comprehend this because they didn't have an Uncle Angry in their life to teach them that if you have to do everything for her, she's doing nothing for you, bro, she's not that into you. She was never that into you. It's all about utility, and utility. If a woman actually likes you, you don't have to do anything. Regardless if you are rich or poor, she is going to want you. She's going to desire you. And it's the truth. It's the honest to goodness truth. She will sit there and watch you play video games. She will bring you a sandwich happily. She will laugh at your jokes. Okay? She will suddenly find you funny and interesting. You don't have to do anything to have her. I'm telling you guys, most of us were raised wrong. We were completely raised wrong. And we were conditioned and raised to be simps. And that's why many of us have suffered. And women are now seeing it that, hey, men are walking away. And they're filled with fear because they don't have the same abilities that they used to. Men are waking up, and a lot of men now are going straight MGTOW. I am not an MGTOW. I helped to establish the MGTOW community over 10 years ago. But I am not. Well, and to be clear, it's MGTOW 2.0. But regardless, that's what's modern. That's what it is now anyway. There was actually something before the modern MGTOW was MGTOW 1.0, and that was actually like kind of like neo masculinity. But MGTOW that we have today, is basically MGTOW 2.0, and that's something that established on YouTube. And that was basically men going their own way, focusing on themselves, their own happiness, and so forth. But and then it transformed into men separating themselves socially, financially, and economically from women in the state. And now women are filled with fear because men are doing just that. A lot of men are I'm an MWA now. So but the thing is, some MGTOWs, some MWAs are also MGTOWs, but not all MWAs, men walking away, are MGTOWs. MWAs are just men with alternatives. The thing is, a lot of men are just saying that my best alternative is to go MGTOW and avoid relationships, dating, and society as a whole. And women are now realizing that those Plan B guys are gone. Those nice guys, we are so lucky. Many of us are so lucky that those women rejected us and that we are now basically have walked away, in some cases, completely gone our own way, so that we didn't get caught up in something that would rob us of our lives.
All right, here's the harsh truth that no one wants to talk about. Women will do a lot for a man, at least at first, during the honeymoon phase. Everything seems perfect, they're invested, showing affection, and everything's great. But then, reality hits. The honeymoon phase wears off, and suddenly, the man is accused of love bombing. Here's the thing. This pattern is all too common. Women love to be adored at first. But once that initial thrill fades, it's like a switch flips, and suddenly, the same gestures that were once appreciated are now labeled as manipulation. It's almost like some women expect men to continue delivering the exact same emotional intensity forever. But real relationships take work. They're not about constant fireworks. And when the spark dims, some women jump straight to accusations, or worse, blame the man for their own shifting emotions. Now, let's get one thing straight. A relationship isn't some temporary thrill ride. If you only appreciate the honeymoon phase, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. But here's where things get interesting. This whole mindset of, he's love bombing me, is a defense mechanism. Women will start feeling empty inside when they realize that the man, once their whole world, isn't just there to entertain them anymore. It's like, okay, now I've got him, but I'm bored. So what do? They make excuses, they label the man, and they blame him. But here's the kicker. Women are responsible for this too. It's not just the guy who's to blame. You know why? Because a lot of women are guilty of using men as emotional entertainment. When things are good, they're all in. But when things get real and require some effort, suddenly, the man is no longer good enough. And guess what? That cycle of emotional ups and downs is something women themselves create. Men get caught in the middle of their shifting moods, and in the end, it's the guy who takes the fall. Bottom line? Women who aren't ready for the long haul will always look for a reason to pull the rug out from under the relationship. They'll use the man's efforts to meet their own emotional needs, but the minute they get bored or emotionally drained, they'll shift the blame onto him. Real talk. If you're not ready to deal with the reality of relationships, don't drag someone else along for the ride.
I've been single majority of my life, and going into my 30s, I feel like people try to convince me so badly that I need a relationship, that I need to find someone, da 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 da, and I'm like, skirt. Have you been single before? Like, have you genuinely been single? Okay? I promise you, we're having a fucking good time. I feel like it's gatekept. I feel like people just don't speak about it because it's not popular, but I'm having a good time. I cannot tell you the amount of times that I have seen girls in relationships and I'm like, that's ghetto. You're dealing with the bare minimum for what? So, I'm going to choose to be single until that man, and I'm saying that man, comes around. Because, what?
All right, let's unpack this for a second. This woman says she's 30 and plans to stay single until a man who provides beyond the bare minimum comes around. Now, on the surface, this sounds like a self-assured declaration. Knowing your worth, setting standards, all that good stuff. But let's look a little closer. First of all, what exactly is the bare minimum? Are we talking about respect, loyalty, and stability? Because, newsflash, that's not the bare minimum. That's the baseline for any healthy relationship. If you're expecting a man to show up with a red carpet, a six-figure salary, and the personality of a rom-com protagonist while you just sit there waiting, well, you've got a problem. Here's the thing. Relationships aren't about one person doing all the heavy lifting while the other just collects benefits. It's a two-way street. If you want someone who's going to go above and beyond for you, you need to ask yourself, what am I bringing to the table? Am I willing to go above and beyond for them too? Because sitting around and expecting Prince Charming to magically appear with his credit card and unconditional devotion isn't a plan. It's wishful thinking, and let's be real. Being 30 isn't some magical expiration date, but it also isn't the time to keep playing these fantasy games. At some point, you've got to take accountability. If you've spent your 20s dismissing good men because they didn't check off every box on your dream list, you can't blame the world for where you are now. Sometimes, it's not about the men not showing up. It's about you not recognizing them when they did. Look, no one's saying you should settle for less than you deserve. But maybe, just maybe, it's time to reevaluate what you think you deserve versus what you're willing to work for. A healthy relationship is built on mutual effort, not entitlement.
Modern women see their power, their privilege slipping away, and they don't like it. They don't like it one bit. See, they live their lives on easy mode, and now the piper is coming to collect, and they don't want to pay up. They don't want to face the consequences of female liberation. They want to keep all the spoils that feminism got for them, but they don't want to face any of the consequences of being Miss Independent. It's hilarious. But no matter what they say or do, it's not going to happen. Guys, everything is going to get cut. Project 2025 is no game. It is going to wreak havoc upon society, and a lot of women who enjoy all of these social benefits, they are going to vanish and disappear. For most men right now, they are realizing increasingly the juice was never worth the squeeze, but we were conditioned to believe that we could not survive unless we went and found a woman that allowed us to have children. It's a joke. Now, guys, we wake up and realize, wait a minute, I can just be single, work on myself, make my money, and then have a happy life. And I have no wife, no kids, no stress, and that's it. Guys, I'm in my early 40s now. I'm a zennial. But here's the thing. I realize I don't have a lot of time left. Not a lot of great years left, okay? And I have to be very focused on how I spend my remaining time. And why would I want to waste my remaining time with someone who's just going to make me miserable? I've missed out on so much of life because of the baby boomers and the garbage that they've done. They stole our futures. So right now I need to be focused on myself, building my wealth, and stealing their pension, just like the rest of you. Guys, if you think you've missed the boat on Bitcoin, think again. The crypto world is exploding with new opportunities. And while Bitcoin has already made its millionaires, there's still a chance for you. to get in early on the next big wave. I've put together an exclusive guide on 4 altcoins that could change the game and change your financial future. These aren't just hype coins. These are real projects with groundbreaking technology and massive upside potential. This is your chance to get in before they hit the mainstream. But listen, crypto isn't just about getting rich, it's about freedom. Freedom from traditional banks, freedom from government-controlled money, and freedom to take back control of your life. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy. When you join the academy, you'll learn everything you need to know about cryptocurrency, how to buy, sell, and trade the right way, how to spot the coins that can truly take off, and how to use crypto to achieve real economic freedom. And here's the best part. When you subscribe, you'll get a free copy of my Crypto Blueprint. This is packed with valuable tips and strategies to help you get started, and it's yours just for joining. The link is in the description below. Don't wait around and miss another opportunity like Bitcoin. Those who act now will be the ones who win big. So if you're ready to take back control of your finances and start your journey to freedom, join Angry's Crypto Academy today. Let's make it happen.
So if you're 30, still waiting for that mythical man who's beyond bare minimum, you might want to ask yourself if you're also putting in more than the bare minimum. Just saying.
Good men who are going into a relationship with good intentions and who don't think that women are playing all these games and don't think there's all this competition, they don't want to be toxic. So what will happen is if she is doing some disrespectful behavior, the good man who's just trying to have a good relationship will think it's mean of me to have too many boundaries. They'll think it's mean of me to tell her that I don't really feel comfortable with her going on so many girls' trips. They kind of just want to be like good, and as a result they get mistreated. Similarly, good women who just want a good relationship, they don't lead with sex. They don't lead with enticing men, and as a result they don't retain the men's attention for as long, because if a good woman wants to go online to meet a man, she might say, I really want to get to know him first before I sleep with him. Unfortunately, she's competing with girls that will sleep with him on the first night, and she's competing with girls that will, send after a couple of pictures. She doesn't stand a chance. Similarly, a good man is competing with potentially all the men on Instagram and stuff. So those two people tend to have it the hardest.
Let's talk about something that doesn't get enough airtime these days. Good men? Yes, they exist. And contrary to popular belief, not all men are out here just chasing quick hookups or meaningless flings. In fact, there are plenty of good men who'd rather get to know a woman first before diving into anything physical. Here's the thing. Some men are genuinely looking for more than surface-level connections. They want a partner, someone they can trust, someone who values herself and doesn't feel the need to prove anything by throwing sex on the table the first night. These men, they respect boundaries. They appreciate the slow build, because for them, it's about more than just chemistry. It's about compatibility, mutual respect, and a shared vision for the future. And no, this doesn't mean they're judging women who've made different choices or that they think less of women who move faster. It's not about that. It's about what they're looking for in a partner, someone who prioritizes connection over instant gratification. They know that true intimacy isn't just physical. It's emotional, mental, and spiritual. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but aren't men constantly surrounded by women throwing themselves at them? Sure, it happens, but a good man? He doesn't care about what everyone else is offering. He cares about what you bring to the table. He wants to see your heart, your values, your mind, not just your willingness to rush into something. So, to the women out there feeling like they have to move fast to keep a man's attention, trust me, you don't. A good man will see your worth without you having to prove it overnight. And to the men who are out there holding out for real connections, hats off to you. You're the ones keeping hope alive for what love can and should be.
So it's really 10 women for every one potential husband. That's depressing if you want to get married. If you want to get married and you know for every good potential husband out there, I'm competing with 9 other women. 9 of you are not going to end up with a husband. That's what the numbers say. You just don't have the choices. We didn't even talk about, out of the 5, how many of those men want to be husbands? I'm looking at this and it's breaking my heart, man. I'm sitting in this restaurant and it's like, where are the men? Where are the men?
All right, so let's talk about this. The question some of you are asking is, where are the men facing a marriage crisis? Spoiler alert, there isn't one. If anything, men aren't the ones having a crisis when it comes to marriage. It's the women. Think about it. Men aren't the ones hopping on podcasts or TikTok crying about where all the good women went. They aren't panicking about not finding a partner or screaming about the dating pool being trash. No, men are walking away from the table altogether because they've weighed the risks. And let's be real, marriage in today's world doesn't offer them much. And why would it? What's the incentive? For men, marriage has become a one-sided deal. He gets a partner who expects him to provide financially, emotionally, and physically. But the moment she's unhappy, she files for divorce and takes half of everything. Add in the potential for false allegations, losing custody of the kids, and being drained financially, and it's no wonder men are opting out. Who wants to sign up for a lifetime of risk with very little reward? And meanwhile, who's really in crisis here? Women. The same women who spent their 20s living their best life and ignoring stable, good men are now hitting their 30s and realizing they want marriage and kids. But guess what? Those good men? They've either already settled down or they've checked out completely. This isn't men facing a marriage crisis. It's women realizing too late that their options are drying up. And instead of taking accountability, instead of admitting that they ignored red flags or chased after men who weren't serious, they want to flip the script and act like it's men's fault. Classic deflection. So, to the women asking, where are the men? Why don't they want to marry anymore? Here's your answer. Men saw the writing on the wall. They're not facing a crisis. They're protecting their peace. And until marriage becomes a partnership that benefits both sides equally again, don't expect them to come running back.
The relationship between men and women is never going to come back in Western society. Me Too scorched the earth. That was the end. And what have women done since M2? They have just gone more and more and further, deeper and deeper. There's a woman right now who plans to do this. I think she's going to film it where she's going to be physically intimate. She's an Only Fools model. She's going to be intimate. And they're not models. They're adult workers, but they model. She's going to be with 1,000 men in 24 hours. She already did a test run with 100 men. Where the heck are you finding so many guys? And she was physically intimate with 100 guys already in 24 hours. It was a test run. And now she's going to be physically intimate with 1,000 men. Imagine a society where something like this can happen, where something like this is normalized. And women are seeing these things and they're like, oh, well, it's just normal now. This is just normal behavior for women and it has to be accepted. So many of these women that have lived this type of life and now they realize that no guy wants to be in a relationship with them. No guy wants to ask them out on a date. And now they're trying to run away from the consequences. They don't know how to deal with it. Because the streets lead to the church leads to the streets, so stay off the streets and stay out of the church. And then they look around and they see all of these guys going their own way. They can't find a guy at the grocery store. They can't find a guy at the gym. They can't find a guy in general society. That's because you told them to go away, and what you have to offer is not what they want. Even if you could cook, clean, and you were, great in the bedroom, it would not be enough anymore. Because men don't want to be with someone who has a high body count. Men don't want to live in a society and marry someone or be even in just a relationship with someone that can call the cops at any moment and have their life destroyed just because she was in a bad mood. Doesn't matter if anything actually happened or not. Men don't want to take the risk of losing everything in divorce court and, basically being 18 years a slave. Men don't want that life. They want their peace. They don't want constant arguments. They don't want someone who despises them for playing video games and resents them when they sleep. Someone who puts up TikToks that says they can't stand watching their partner sleep. If a woman cannot stand watching you sleep, that woman HATEs you. She hates you. She does not like you. All right? Do you think that she hates watching little Poncho sleep? Okay? When he's there farting in your bed? Of course not. Because she loves him. She loves him. That's the guy that she loves. Okay? You need to understand that. They never loved us. She will never love you. It was just your turn. Guys, what do you think regarding all of this? Men going their own way has filled women with fear as they are increasingly realizing that it's pretty much over for them. They're not going to be able to find a man to settle down with, and that's going to supplement their living. They're going to basically find themselves living alone with box wine, cats, and having to settle into old age and poverty. Let me know your thoughts and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.